Calling this meeting of the Providence City Council to order Thursday, September 20th, 2018. Madam Clerk, can you read the roll call, please?
Council President Salvatore.
Present.
Councilman Aponte is absent. Councilwoman Castillo. Councilman Correa. Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Hassett. Councilman Hassett is absent. Councilman Igliozzi.
Present.
Councilman Jennings. Councilwoman LaFortune. Councilwoman Matos. Councilman Narducci. Councilman Principe. Councilwoman Ryan is absent. Councilman Yurden. Councilman Zurier. You have 12 present and 3 absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The invocation will be given by Council President David A. Salvatore. Heavenly Father, we gather together here tonight, intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faiths give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us. In God's name we pray, amen. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Deputy Majority Leader Nicholas Narducci.
Minutes, item 3, Journal of Proceedings, number 26 of the regular meeting of the City Council held Thursday, September 6, 2018.
Leader Igliozzi.
Yes, a motion to approve.
Second on motion, Mr.
Leader Igliozzi moves approval of item number 3. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Appointments by His Honor the
Leader
Mayor.
Igliozzi.
Mr. President, motion to dispense the readings of item 4 through 10 and to receive.
Second on motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the readings of items 4 through 10. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Received.
Item 11, communication
Mr.
from His
President?
Honor the
Leader
Mayor.
Igliozzi.
Motion to dispense the readings of item 11 through 12 and to refer to the appropriate committee.
Second on motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the readings of items 11 and 12. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Refer to the Committee on Finance.
Ordinances, second
Mr. President,
Leader Igliozzi.
motion to dispense the reading of item 13 and to pass on a second time in a roll call vote.
Second on motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the reading of item number 13 and pass the matter for the second time on a roll call vote. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion?
Thank you, Mr.
Councilwoman
President.
Harris.
I rise to speak on item 13. First of all, I want to thank all my colleagues, everyone who have participated and joined in, and also signed on to the celebration and the observation of Black History Month. I want to say, since joining the council, it has been a beautiful experience to be able to realize how much history is in the archives and how much contribution have been given by Black America to the city of Providence. It's been a learning experience, and I want you to know, colleagues, all my colleagues, I'm really appreciative you being very sensitive and observing this one particular month, which is February. Since we started the Black History Month, we have been able to educate a lot of kids around different events and different activities that happen throughout Providence that have been shared by Black America. I want to say that that passing this, I also learned of different events, activity throughout the year. I had no idea that Philip Addison served as the first African-American Black city council. So I want to appreciate that. I want to appreciate the knowledge that we're learning and the fact that we have passed this as an ordinance. So I ask my colleague to continue to support different opportunities for us to be able to find diversity within the city. So I want to tell you how much I appreciate you for the first time passage, and I know this is what the second pass, so thank you so very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman Harris. Additional discussion. Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Council President Salvatore.
Aye.
Councilman Aponte is absent. Councilwoman Castillo. Councilman Correa. Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Hassett is absent. Councilman Igliozzi.
Aye.
Councilman Jennings.
Aye.
Councilwoman LaFortune. Councilwoman Matos. Councilman Narducci. Councilman Principe. Councilwoman Ryan is absent. Councilman Yurden. Councilman Zurier. You have 12 ayes and 3 absent. The motion carries. The matter passes for the second time. The following ordinances were in City Council
Mr. President,
September
Peter Igliozzi.
motion to dispense the reading of item number 14 and to continue the matter until the next scheduled council meeting, which I believe is October 4th.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Peter Igliozzi moves to continue item number 14 till the regularly scheduled meeting of the Providence City Council dated October 4th, 2018. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item 15, an ordinance
Mr. President?
establishing...
Leader Igliozzi.
Motion to dispense the reading of item number 15 and to pass for a second time on a roll call vote.
Second motion, Mr.
Leader
President.
Igliozzi moves to dispense with the reading of item number 15 and to pass the matter for the second time on a roll call vote. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Council President Salvatore.
Aye.
Councilman Aponte is absent. Councilwoman Castillo. No. Councilman Correa. Aye. Councilwoman Harris. No. Councilman Hassett is absent. Councilman Igliozzi.
Aye.
Councilman Jennings.
Aye.
Councilwoman LaFortune. Aye. Councilwoman Matos. Aye. Councilman Narducci. Councilman Principe. Councilwoman Ryan is absent. Councilman Yurden. Councilman Zurier. You have 10 ayes, 2 noes, 3 absent. The motion carries. The matter passes for the second time. Presentation of ordinances.
Leader
Mr.
Igliozzi.
President, motion to dispense the readings of items 16 through 18 to make the appropriate committee reference.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the readings of items 16 through 18. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? Refer to the Committee on Ordinances.
Mr. President.
Presentation of resolution.
Councilman Zurier.
I rise on the point of personal expression, please.
Please proceed.
I'd like to talk about item number 18. This is the third version of this legislation. The first one never made it out of committee. The second version was voted down at our last meeting. This invites the question, why introduce it so soon after it was voted down? What might change? I'd like to offer 4 reasons. The first reason, number 1, some members in the last debate questioned whether an ordinance could regulate the positions of majority or minority leader. The revised version removes those positions from regulation. Reason number 2, another member of this body challenged the decision to refer this measure to the Claims Committee, saying it should go to the Ordinance Committee. It has now been referred to the Ordinance Committee, but I'd like to spend a couple of minutes talking about why it might have been better to go to the Claims Committee. If you remember, the first version of this legislation was introduced at the June 2, 2016 City Council meeting. At that time, the legislation was referred to the Finance Committee. The majority leader did not have a problem with referring it to the Finance Committee. The vice chair of the Ordinance Committee did not have a problem referring it to the Finance Committee. In fact, nobody on the City Council had a problem referring it to the Finance Committee. There's a saying about what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I don't understand why there's such an issue about referring it to the Ordinance Committee at this time. However, since it has been, I'd like to issue a challenge to the Ordinance Committee. The Ordinance Committee seems too busy to review legislation that I've introduced that's been pending there for a year or more. So I challenge the Ordinance Committee to have a prompt hearing on this legislation, and I'll be glad to attend and offer ideas. Now, what happened when it was introduced to the Finance Committee? Why don't we send it back there? Well, this is what happened. A, it was not heard for almost a year. B, 101 citizens signed petitions to require a public hearing under Section 411 of the Home Rule Charter. C, the clerk had to spend several $100s of taxpayer money to publish an advertisement in the Providence Journal to require the Finance Committee to hear this matter. And goodness knows that money could have been better spent for school supplies, which teachers currently pay out of their own pockets across Providence Public Schools. A public hearing was held on May 30, 2017. The Finance Committee voted to continue the matter on June 1, 2017, and it has remained pending ever since. In the Claims Committee, it received a prompt hearing, open to the public, and a vote. That is how the legislative process is supposed to work, and I challenge the Ordinance Committee to do its job. Reason number 3, at least one person who voted against the last one at our last meeting and spoke most loudly in opposition might consider the benefits of recusing this time. More specifically, anyone who is currently under indictment for a felony might consider whether it is appropriate to recuse from voting on a measure that could result in the reduction of their city council pay or loss of an opportunity to increase their city council pay, given the fact that officers of the city council receive extra compensation for their responsibilities. I could go through the Code of Ethics chapter and verse. It's in section 7A in Regulation 7001. Many of us would therefore decide to recuse out of hand, or based on what one city council member once said when he was under investigation 2 years ago, an abundance of caution. But suppose one is tempted to throw an abundance of caution to the wind and test the limits of the Code of Ethics. Well, that's every member's prerogative, but I would mention 2 more things. First, a year ago, a Superior Court dismissed a legal challenge to a City Council member to the jurisdiction of the Ethics Commission on the grounds of legislative immunity. So the prospects of a successful legal challenge to the Ethics Commission's jurisdiction this year are less than overwhelming. Second, in the past, City Council members have defended themselves against Ethics Commission complaints for failing to recuse by claiming that they lack knowledge of the underlying facts. One purpose of my remarks tonight is to state as clearly as possible how the Code of Ethics applies to this ordinance so that it will remove a defense of ignorance and encourage recusal. Reason number 4, my last reason. Finally, there are other members of this body who voted against this measure and who see themselves someday as a candidate for the position of mayor of the city of Providence. For example, in July of last year, 2 city council members appeared on former Mayor Paolino's television show and stated that they aspired to be a future mayor. To those members and any others with citywide ambitions, I ask you to consider how a citywide electorate will view your vote on the subject of ethics reform. I can assure you that the 101 Providence voters who petitioned the Finance Committee to hold a hearing on the first version of this bill are very upset with how the Finance Committee treated them and how the City Council has treated this issue. And I can further assure you that there are many others who, where those 101 Providence voters came from. For those members, I respectfully suggest that the whole city is watching us as we try now for a third and I hope final time to solve this problem once and for all. Thank you.
Presentation of resolutions, Council President Salvatore, by request, item 19.
Mr. President,
Leader Igliotti.
motion to dispense the readings of item 19 through 20 and to make the appropriate reference.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliotti moves to dispense with the readings of items 19 and 20. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, refer to the Committee on Finance.
Item 21, resolution authorizing...
Mr. President,
Leader Igliotti.
motion to dispense the reading of item number 21 and to refer to the appropriate committee.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliotti moves to dispense with the reading of item number 21. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Their discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, refer to the Special Committee on School Department Oversight.
Council President Salvatore, item
Mr.
22.
President.
Leader Igliotti.
Motion to dispense the reading of item number 22 and refer to the appropriate committee.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliotti moves to dispense with the reading of item number 22. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, refer to the Committee on Public Works.
Councilman Correa, item 23, resolution requesting the Director of Public Works and the Department of Human Resources post and fill all vacant and funded positions within the Department of Public Works.
Leader Igliotti.
Mr. President, motion to pass on a voice vote.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliotti moves to pass item number 23 on a voice vote. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Councilman Narducci, item 24, resolution honoring the life of Joanne
1 second,
M.
Madam Clerk.
DeBello.
Leader Igliotti. Councilman Narducci.
So noted.
Mr. President, I would like to also.
So noted.
Please proceed, Madam Clerk.
Whereas Joanne M. DeBello, born July 15, 1950, was a lifelong resident of the city of Providence, and whereas Joanne graduated from Mount Pleasant High School in Providence and from Bryant College, graduating in 1973 with a BA in education, and graduated from Rhode Island College in 1978 with an MA in education administration. And whereas after graduating from Bryant College and Rhode Island College, she continued her education by attending Salve Regina University, graduating with an MA in holistic counseling. And whereas Joanne retired from the University of Rhode Island Feinstein Providence campus, where she served for over 20 years as the Director of Marketing and External Relations. And whereas Ms. DeBello founded several community organizations, including the North End Girls Softball League in 1974 and the North End Girls Club, which included the Girls Ski Club. And whereas Joanne was very active in numerous and other community professional organizations where she served in leadership roles. And whereas Joanne DeBello passed away on July 21st, 2018, at the age of 68, leaving behind beloved family and friends. Now therefore be it resolved that the Providence City Council does hereby extend its deepest sympathy to the family of Joanne M. DeBello.
Madam Clerk, if there's no opposition from the sponsor, I'd like to be noted as a co-sponsor on item number 24.
Mr. President, also.
The whole council.
Yes.
Deputy Leader
So noted.
Narducci.
Mr. President, thank you. I just want to say quick on behalf of Joanne, you heard her accomplishments. She touched the hands of so many young girls back in the day. There was girls softball, Little League Baseball was boys, girls softball was girls. And in the North End, back when she first started it, she started off, believe it or not, with 2 teams. 3 years later, she had 12 teams, all North End girls. And just what she did for the communication with the kids, and how many of the kids that she reached out and, I guess I could say the word mentored, to let them understand how important school was. And she was very strict as a softball coach and the president of the softball organization, that if kids weren't doing the right things in school, even at the young ages, that they weren't going to play softball. It didn't matter what the mother and father thought. If the grades weren't there, the kids weren't playing. Madam Clerk, thank you so much for reading that resolution into the record. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Leader Narducci. Is there additional discussion? Leader, I don't think we made a motion before yet. No, we haven't.
Oh. Motion to pass on a voice vote.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliotti moves to pass item number 24 on a voice vote. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Report from Committee on Ordinances, Councilman Terrence and
Mr.
Passage
President?
Leader
Chairman.
Igliotti.
Motion to dispense the reading item number 25 and to pass on the first time a roll call vote.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliotti.
Oh, 24 and 26? 4. Oh, sorry.
Item number 25.
My apologies. My apologies. I withdraw that motion. Apologies. I'm sorry. Motion to dispense the reading item 25 and defer back to the appropriate committee.
Pass for the first time on a roll call vote.
Oh, so there you go. So I got it wrong again. So it's all right. So I'll try. Third time is a try. Ready? I'll try it again. Motion to dispense the reading item number 25, to pass on the first time a roll call vote, and to refer it back to the appropriate committee. I get it right?
Leader, we all look to you to...
I know. It happens. You know. Sometimes. But bear with me. You got it right? Is that right?
Leader Igliotti moves to dispense with the reading of item number 25, pass for the first time on a roll call vote, and refer it back to the Committee on Ordinances. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
I think we had enough discussion.
Aye.
Council President Salvatore.
Aye.
Councilman Aponte is absent. Councilwoman Castillo. Councilman Correa. Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Hassett is absent. Councilman Igliozzi.
Aye.
Councilman Jennings. Councilwoman LaFortune. Councilwoman Matos. Councilman Narducci. Councilman Principe. Councilwoman Ryan is absent. Councilman Yurden. Councilman Zurier. You have 12 ayes and 3 absent. The motion carries. The matter passes for the first time and is referred back to the Committee on Ordinances. Item 26, an ordinance in amendment.
Leader Igliozzi.
Motion to dispense the reading of item number 26 and to pass on a first time roll call vote.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the reading of item number 26, to pass the item for the first time in a roll call vote. That is seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? Councilwoman Castillo.
I want to tell my colleagues, please support this because that's really important for my neighborhood. The Bond CDBs, closed for a really long time, and we have an opportunity to get that thing to life. So I hope, guys, you can support they can pass tonight. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, if there's no objection from the sponsor, I would like to be noted as the co-sponsor on item number 26.
So noted.
Councilwoman Harris, Councilwoman LaFortune, Councilman Correa, Councilman Principe, the entire council.
So noted.
Is there additional discussion? Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Council President Salvatore.
Aye.
Councilman Aponte is absent. Councilwoman Castillo. Councilman Correa. Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Hassett is absent. Councilman Igliozzi.
Aye.
Councilman Jennings.
Aye.
Councilwoman LaFortune. Councilwoman Matos. Councilman Narducci. Councilman Principe. Councilwoman Ryan is absent. Councilman Yurden. Councilman Zurier. You have 12 ayes and 3 absent. The motion carries. The matter passes for the first time. From the clerk's desk, item
Leader
27.
Igliozzi.
Mr. President, motion to dispense the reading of items 27 and 28 and to make the appropriate reference to the appropriate committee.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the readings of items 27 and 28. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Refer to the Committee on Ordinances.
Item 29, petitions
Mr.
for
President?
compensation for injuries and
Igliozzi.
damage.
Motion to dispense the reading item number 29 to refer to the Committee on Claims and Pending Suits.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to dispense with the reading of item number 29 and refer the matter to the Committee on Claims and Pending Suits. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Presentation of resolutions and congratulations. Council President Salvatore and members of the City Council. Item 30, resolution extending congratulations.
Leader Igliozzi.
Mr. President, motion to pass on a voice vote.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to pass item number 30 on a voice vote. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Presentation of resolutions in memoriam. Council President Salvatore and members of the City Council. Item 31, resolution extending sympathy.
Leader Igliozzi.
Mr. President, motion to pass item number 31 upon a unanimous rising vote.
Second motion, Mr. President.
Leader Igliozzi moves to pass item number 31 on a unanimous rising vote. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings.
Mr. President,
Leader Igliozzi.
if there's no more business before this honorable body, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
Leader Igliozzi moves to adjourn. That's seconded by Deputy Leader Jennings. All those in favor? All those opposed? This meeting is adjourned until the October 4th, 2018 regularly scheduled meeting. Have a good night, folks.